Yo guys, what's up? We're back with Calgar again. How you all doing? Hope you've had a fantastic weekend. I've done a little bit of work on this guy off stream, just blocked in all of the gold. Get that out of the way. You guys have seen me paint a lot of gold on stream recently, so there's no need for us to go through that again. Let's take a bit of a break from painting metallics if we can. On the last stream, we got all of the blue done, then right at the end, we quickly airbrushed in all our base coats for the cape. That's both the red and the white. And today, we're going to continue on with that white. So we're going to start off by getting every element of the Mini that should be white built up to a nice, strong base coat. Then we can get all of the highlights done, including our cape there. So loads of stuff to do this evening. In the chat, we've got El Pitorino, Diabolos 21, Tootie Spruce, Electros 2K, AJC 72, Kets TV, That's Undead, Celtic Craig, and Viking XTK. How are you guys all doing? Good to see you, folks. So here we go. On Friday, exclamation point Patreon, we had the release of our very first Lord Gitface coming in strong with a sub right off the bat. 3 months now, man. Thank you very much. So we've got a couple of guides that went up on Friday. Tootie Spruce with the host as well. We had the text guide for how to paint the delicious looking black that we've got on our chaplain over here. So this guy is very nearly done. Des with the host as well. And Tide coming up with a 6-month-long subscription. What an utter boss. How you doing today, Jay? He says, I am doing great. Thank you very much, Chief. Snake Plissken, what up? So we did a guide on how to paint this black. We've done a guide that went up on YouTube. That's where you should put YouTube if you haven't seen it yet. How to paint bases and how to get them looking really, really good with a minimum amount of effort. We took this GW pre-sculpted base and really made it into something that is much more of a landscape for this Mini than just this weird molded plastic bit and some crappy bit of dry brush sand or so on. All we've got left to do on this guy is the Raven Wing symbol, which you can do on the shoulder pad. That will be the next Patreon tutorial. That's going to be going up on Friday. When that goes up, the Patreon written guide for how to make your bases pop out will also go up. So loads of guides coming up. How was Thursday? Thursday was good, dude. It's my other half's birthday. She wanted a takeaway, quiet night in. It's not like you could go out on Thursday, obviously, but that was what she wanted, was a takeaway, and that's what we discussed doing before lockdown 2.0. So that was good. Had a really nice Indian. A really, really nice Indian, actually. Yeah, super impressed with that. Yeah, got her a birthday present. So she's a really big music fan, and where she lives, she basically plays music through Spotify through a TV in the living room, and her house is set up with quite a long, sort of narrow, like wedge. It's a Cheltenham townhouse, so it's all kind of small facings but quite deep houses. And so what she really needs to listen to music properly is like a Sonos system, and they cost a lot of money, like a lot of money. And ideally you build a house around the sound rather than chuck some sound into some like rented house. So I kind of cheated a little bit, and what we ended up doing was buying her a couple of the new 4th gen Amazon Echo Dot machines. What do you call them? They've probably got a real name, like a name for what the device is, like those weird virtual assistant things. Maybe it's even virtual assistant, who knows? But bought her a couple of those, so she basically now can tell Alexa to play music in whatever room she's in, is able to listen to that from anywhere, and hooked up all the Spotify and everything else to it. So yeah, happy days indeed. So yeah, a really good night, chill night, listen to music, in bed, which was good. So there you go, Snake. That's really good. Glad, mate. Very glad. There's going to be a video up on YouTube every 2 weeks, so alternating Fridays. The next one that we're planning on is very possibly how to paint a Dark Angel. And this guy is mostly done. This is not the one we'll be using for the video. This is one that we have been painting along with Nick McDade for his painting lessons. Can't argue, that looks pretty much like a Dark Angel. Still retains the darkness to it. Got a nice little poppy, bright bit of green here and there to really make those shine. Oh, Donna-chan coming in with a sub as well. Best hobby accompaniment channel there is. Oh my god, man, that's such a nice thing to say. Thank you very, very much. And we started a hype train. That's awesome. Thank you very much, guys. Really, really appreciate the love to start the show. Sounds hella thoughtful. Thank you, man. I try, you know. I know on the outside I've got this exterior where I'm very definitely an asshole, and trust me, there's a lot of that on the inside as well. But you know, I like her. She's nice, and so we'll, you know, try and make her smile. Yeah, Solus in my room. I play audiobooks off it. Nice. Nice. Fuck, Des. Yeah, I bet you've definitely made your money back on that, though. Alright, what else should be white? I just realized the handle of that should have a load of gold on it as well. This ultramarine symbol right at the top, which, as you can tell from the phenomenal sculpt that we're working with here, is perfectly centered in this area. Definitely not. Calgar's looking awesome. Kets, thank you very much, dude. Ooh, I nearly forgot something. Exclamation point Frohawk. Let's get some of those commands thrown in the screen chat. We have got next weekend, so week yesterday. Only 6 days to go between the Epic Showdown Challenge. The man versus the Mohawk. Mr. Chris Frozin is taking me on in a painting challenge where we're going to paint Space Marines. We're going to paint Space Marines, and he thinks he can get on my level. I'm telling you now, Chris, I will break you. If he dies, he dies. Jager, how you doing, buddy? You go ahead and have your little look. Mimic Miniatures as well, so you pop in and say hello. How you doing? Can anyone get that low, says Viking. If anyone can, buddy, you can. It's more whether you can elevate yourself to just being that low. That's the only question. Tilly Spruce, it's okay. We're going to catch it all back in a VOD on YouTube, and I might even try and edit together a quick highlight reel for it. Chris has no chance in hell of a win. Oh, love that. Snake, much love, man. Gumbalina, now that's a cool name. I like it. Evening to you too. Happy evening from Maryland. Darker Design. Cross Pond brother, how you doing? So yeah, that's going to be a fun weekend. Now there's some really funky things that are going to happen in that stream. So Chris and I, once we've decided what chapter we're going to paint, and you guys get to choose the top 4 of those, are going into an Instagram poll Chris is going to be running on his Instagram. That poll will last for 4 days. It's going to run until Thursday. So whatever the top 4 on there, when I looked earlier on, it was Soul Drinkers, Ultramarines, Excoriators, and something else that I can't remember. Soul Drinkers, Ultramarines, Excoriators. Space Wolves. I think it was the other one. I think it was Space Wolves. So, yeah. Go and vote. Try and get what you want into the top 4. And then once the Instagram poll comes out to decide what actual chapter we're painting, I'll make sure I share some links. But once we know what chapter we're painting, Chris and I are going to select 10 paints from our collection. And I'm going to pick 10 other paints that have got some definite curveballs thrown in, we'll say. So paints that aren't necessarily ones that we want to use on the mini. And then every half an hour, while we're painting on Saturday, the stream will get to decide which paint we can no longer use. And we have to get rid of that paint. And then decide which paint from like the sideboard of 10 paints gets to be swapped in as a replacement. So, let's say for instance, and I'm really hoping this, let's say for instance, we're painting an Ultramarine, because Chris loves painting Ultramarines. He loves the Ultramarines in all their glory, and it will thrill him to spend 8 hours painting an Ultramarine. He will love it. He'll hate every second of it. So go Ultras. I may have voted Ultras. You know. Not biased. I do like the Ultra Boys. I always think they look pretty on the battlefield. But mostly it's because Chris hates them. Murky Murker. Absolutely. It's going to be hilarious. Commissar Bob. Good to see you as always, mate. You take care. So, we've got that to do. And if say, for instance, you are painting an Ultramarine, and after the first half hour, for whatever reason, you still haven't finished your base coat, and someone goes, you can't have blue anymore. Then you're going to have to fucking work it out. You're going to have to find a way. So, it's going to be fun. It is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. I hope that at least one of the mods are about, because we're going to need somebody to be in charge of like making like straw polls for people. One for the paints we've got in our sideboard, and one for the paints we've got in our current collection of paint, so that the chat can vote on, can't use this one anymore, you must use this one instead, and the swapsies that are going on. If there is a mod that's about, that would be amazing. If not, then we'll find a way. So don't worry. It will be okay. Right, is there any other white bits? This is going to be blue, the little Ultramar symbol next to his face there. We've got a white one just here. We've got a white one on the back of the hand. We've got the white one up there at the top. That bit's going to be red. Any more white? I'm thinking that the Purity Seals will have red and bone, kind of as usual. These we'll probably do as a brown leather, because I think if we did it red, it would just be a little too much. Saturday, and it will be 11 a.m. through to 7 p.m. Des, if you're about, then I will do something to try and hook you up with a reward for spending your weekend helping out the stream. Speaking of rewards, Mohawk, what do you use for priming your minis? I use the blood of my enemies. Prime everything red. No, I use the Vallejo Airbrush Thinner and Vallejo Airbrush Primer combo. So we go with a 50-50 mix, essentially, of these two things. And that gives me a really, really good coverage. It's better to do 2 thin coats with almost anything. The other option, if I need to get a light colour down, is I've got some grey primer. So if we're going to do like a white marine, like this little dude was, this is a very nice bone coloured marine. So you can see we've got a nice bone there built right up to an almost white over there on the top side of it. That was done with a grey prime undercoat. In fact, that's kind of the colour you can see just there. But all of my undercoating is done with an airbrush. You get so much more control out of that. Very little chance of pooling. Zero chance. I've literally never experienced anything like this happen. Of the that weird sort of frosting, bobbly shit that you have happen with a spray can. Now I know there's ways you can get around that, but it all depends on the atmosphere you're in and how humid it is, how cold it is, so on and so forth. It's normally pretty cold in my house. I don't enjoy being warm, really. I've always preferred the cold, and so as a consequence, still don't have the heating on now. You know, we're trying to get to December before the heating goes on, and so spraying indoors isn't going to help me out any. So use the airbrush, and that just goes through my normal airbrush Iwata Eclipse, 3.3mm needle. It's a super good utility airbrush. You can get loads of crazy detail out of it, and you guys, especially those that have been around the stream for a while, will know how much detail we get out of that for some of our real tight up airbrush work. Just painting his face white so we've got a good base coat for our flesh tones and so on that we'll be putting down later on. May as well do that as working with this colour. And I think these little ropes will do white as well. Just to build some white going up the Mini. If we put white here and just white there, there's quite a disconnect between the two, right? But if we have that in there as well with the cape, it sort of leads the path all the way up through, and that's kind of what we're looking for. Yours is always at 21 plus. Damn, Des. No, I consider like 15 degrees too hot. Like, nah. Can't deal with that. Give me that sweet single figures. We're a happy boy. I don't mind it hot if I'm on holiday. Like if I'm away and we're somewhere like maybe tropical, yeah, sure, it should be hot. This is acceptable. This is the right temperature. But hell no when I'm at home. Cats, I still got the window open. Like, still sleeping with the window. That might not even change either. That might just continue this year. That's really irritating. So instantly got the regret of painting this white because unfortunately it seems to extend right up to his armpit. So just gonna try and hit those. Fortunately it's kind of in the shadow, so you don't need to get too many highlights on there, but we'll need enough to change it from being grey to white. What's heating? Living in a top floor flat, so it's never that cold at mine. Fair. Everybody else is heating your place then. Celtic Craig's like, I'm Scottish. Like, what do you mean it's cold? There's only ice on the inside of the windows. It's not that cold. Celtic Craig, hope you're looking forward to tomorrow morning, baby. Got that private painting lesson from the student tier of our Patreon. Oh shit, right, I've got... So Thursday had its moments of being a shit show, and so I've got some really bad news. So, on the 21st and 22nd of this month, we're going to do, notice the past tense now, we're going to do the Necronathon 2. Which was going to be the next 48-hour marathon, probably streaming for a total of 40 hours in that. And it was something I was really looking forward to do. We've now got about 6,500 points of Necrons, as long as the Nightbringer rocks up and a little Hex 6-shooter man. But we're about 6.5k of Necrons. We've painted a lot of it, but we've got a load more left to do. I like to do my own stuff on crazy marathon streams. Now, the reason I chose the 21st and 22nd was because I am currently being made redundant. The company I work for has decided that it no longer needs the services of its software engineering team, which I'm a part of. I do quality assurance as a QA engineer, and they are moving in a different direction. Pigeon in a tuxedo. That is a cool as username. Thank you very much for the follow and welcome to the stream. So as a result, the 16th of November was due to be my last day. And on the last day, my own business, Mohawk Miniatures, a commission paint studio, is going to be my full-time employment. So we're going to go from being a QA engineer to full-time being a YouTube and Twitch content creator, commission painter, and all-around general piss artist. Because work was going to give us garden leave. I've just realised there's a little design behind that cord, so we need to paint that before we get much further with this. And that will be gold as well. However, sorry, they're not going to give us garden leave, they're going to give us pay in lieu of notice. So what that really means is they go, right, cool, you're still employed by us for the next 3 months, don't worry about turning up, here's a load of money, go and get another job somewhere else. On Thursday, they told our reps, there's enough of being made redundant that we have a team of reps that go to these meetings with the management on our collective behalf. And they told the reps, yeah, we're not going to do that anymore. We want you to work your notice. Which is a bit of a shit, I'm not going to lie, and somewhat unexpected by any of us, as it's a massive U-turn on what they have said all the way through the process. All the way through they've said, yeah, you know, everyone go and look for alternate employment. The way that we feel at the moment, the 16th will be the day we make you all redundant. We can't really see any ways of keeping the team on, and so people should be starting to look for other employment. And that was the head of our company's human resources team that said that, in the presence of the head of technology, who is the person that basically is the overriding man behind the scenes of our team. He is the person that has made the decision that our team is no longer needed. And if I think he's a cunt, then that's my own personal feelings. But I won't express my personal feelings on this show, just for in case he's watching, because I'd hate him to find that he's a cunt that way. I'd rather tell him right to his face. And so, rather than being self-employed come Tuesday the 17th, I will still be working for my company and still be needing to go, not into the office, because my office is like here, that's my work laptop. So we're still trying to work out what the hell is going to happen, because we're all obviously extremely unhappy about that. It's had an impact on my business, obviously, and that's less than ideal. It has also had an impact on quite a lot of my co-workers, a lot of which, including people like my team leader, have found alternate employment. So he's actually due to start a new job with quite a large company. This would be a definite sort of step up in his employment on the 23rd. And he's either now got to tell them, look, sorry, you'll have to wait 3 months if you still want me, or find somebody else. Because if he leaves, he could be sued for being in breach of contract. He'd leave with no notice given, and that's pretty fucking terrible. So the company has done a fucking awful thing by doing this. I would do, but I can't see there's much that you can do about it. So yeah, the Necronathon won't be happening on the 21st because I'd have to take the Monday off, and I don't want to do that. I'm trying to keep my holiday to put towards either the end of my notice and have it there, or have it paid to me afterwards. So Necronathon is on hold for a bit, mostly because of that. The other reason it's on hold is because, as this is now my full-time job, the painting and the such like, I've obviously taken on additional work. That additional work means that rather than working 50 to 60 hours a week, which is normal for me, I work that anyway. That's no different to now with the office and the stream and the general painting. Rather than doing that, I'm going to have to ramp that up to about 80 to 90 hours a week just to keep up with the workload of what I've got to do. So to give you an example, Windy Massive, how are you doing, brother? Thank you very much for that raid, man. Let's get some love in the stream for Windy. Here is the commission that I've got to get done by the end of this month. Or I don't have to, but this is what I'm attempting to do, is get this done by the end of this month. There's 25 intercessors, some bits for some planes, and some jumpy dudes. So all of that, and all of that. A couple of impulsors, some magnetized ATVs, there's some planes, and so on. And so I don't have time to do my own stuff right now, so no Necronathon. Windy, we're doing good, dude. Well, we're not. We're just talking about my slightly shit situation I'm in to the rest of the stream, but that doesn't matter. We have finished with that. I'm doing great. How about you? How was your stream? What were you working on today? Kets, yeah, basically. Yeah. Properly driven that in up to the elbow as well. Just gonna grab a little bit of gold. There's a couple of like links just here, little holders for his little white cord. Get them blocked in gold. So yeah, yay. Crownblade, how you doing? I'm going to assume that is a bad word. So yes, my life is interesting right now. Trying to work out various things that can be done about it, if any. So no Necronathon. Bit shame. You just tried to translate ass hat into Danish. Crownblade, if you did, I love you, mate. Absolute love. Let's just paint this sword under while we've got gold on our brush as well. So yeah, I was also hoping either next month or January, so into the new year, to be opening up new spots for the student course for the airbrush next steps, the special effects curriculum that I've designed. And that may not now be till February or perhaps even March. It depends entirely on the job. But for those of you that would like to have some private tuition with me, then stay tuned. Go and join in on my Discord. So !Discord, go and get yourself a link for that. Because knowing that this community are the people that have got me this far anyway, I want to make sure you guys get first dibs. And so that's where those places will be advertised first. So might have to wait a little longer on those slots being open than we thought. I'm thinking possibly provide man-made green for the environment fuel sources directly to the owner of the company by shitting through their letterbox. Like, feeling they can burn that a little bit, and congrats, it's cruelty to animal free. I mean, mammal, I suppose, but you know. Glitter bomb. Got more info on these courses. Yeah, Windy, if you exclamation point Patreon, just down here, slightly off screen, you'll get a lot of information on that, in fact. The course curriculum itself is not published. Ask people like Nick McDade, who may be in the chat, who has completed the first few lessons on it. We're still on the next steps part with him. But I did have a picture. Where would it be? I know where it'll be. I got that open twice. I do. Dickhead. Just closed a browser window like an utter ass. There you go. I lost all the tunes. Come on WhatsApp, you can open. I'm going to show you guys the before and after of oh, Windy, like don't worry, man, at all. Mostly because there are no spots at the moment. The whole point was that we would hopefully be opening new spots in only a month or so. But they're, because of work basically fucking me over entirely, that won't happen. But this was Nick's before and after. Before being on the left, the pretty much unhighlighted dude. The after being the guy on the right, getting that Dark Angel tech on deck with that Eradicate. You can see in just 1 day's worth of tuition. To be fair, this was a solid 8 hours worth of tuition. You know, this is not one lesson and done. Those lessons being an hour and a half time slot, but just in that 1 day's worth, that's quite a massive jump. Yeah, went from not painting eyes to painting glowing eyes. Went from there's a highlight on there but you can barely see it to, oh my god, look at those highlights. You know, all of that has taken place. So huge transitions. The curriculum is set so that anyone can take the same techniques that I use and apply them to anything. Everything I've done on here, the airbrush work has been done. We did a little bit slightly more complicated airbrush work by hitting all of these areas while the rest of the mini was painted. The next steps work is what we're doing now, getting our brushed highlights down, getting the rest of our layers painted in, and the special effects comes obviously right at the very end, where we'll be getting things like pigments going on, maybe any sort of OSL, any kind of glowing eyes, all that sort of shit. The curriculum works that way throughout. It's been very carefully thought about to provide you guys with a set of lessons to follow on exactly how I do both my commissions and the armies that I have taken to events that have won awards. Speaking of winning awards, actually, Ghost Heathen! Oh, small gift from you and Ket. Guys, absolute bosses, thank you very much. No need, but genuinely appreciated. Squeezel, what up? Right, I've just got a little bit of white on the palette. I'm going to mix the white 50-50 with that Celestra Grey and start blending up some of these highlights here and there. I was about to say something else and I've forgotten what it was. Was it the special effects part? It could have been. Thank you very much for that host, dude. Hosts honestly make a massive difference. Jim Martin! How you doing, man? How you doing? This guy was just in The Guardian. The Guardian. Like, what a boy. Viking, just remember, next Saturday, there is the man versus the Mohawk, exclamation point, Frohawk, where Chris and I will be battling it out. There may be, at some point in that stream, an occasion for me to colour the Mohawk. There may be. Might even do it for free. Fish, how you doing? And Crimson, thank you very much for that follow. Welcome. So just getting a few edge highlights on here. Make sure we've got a nice strong surround for this Omega symbol. And then what we're going to do to help get our blend looking nice and smooth is as we get further up the U, see just there, we're just going to colour in part of that middle section. We're always working upwards in the direction that we want our brightest point to be. The reason behind that is as you move forward and release your brush, the brightest amount of paint, the thickest bit of paint, will be at that point. So always brush towards the area you want to influence most. So that works both ways. If it's a highlight, the brightest point. If it's shadow, the darkest point. The area you want to influence most is where your brush strokes should be going. If you always say the brightest point, it only works for a highlight. But say it my way, works for both. So blend that up there. We're leaving a very small recess just to help bring out the shape of that Omega symbol right there at the very top. You see we've got those two tiny little grey lines in there, just helping showcase that. Polly, how you doing? Jamartin, you and me both. Basically, in that poll, the top 4 of that go through into an Instagram vote. I'd love it if we got to paint another Ultramarine, mostly because Frozin absolutely hates the Ultramarines. Like, with a passion. He hates them. It's not a mild dislike like most hobbyists. It's an actual pathological fucking Ultramarines. I fucking hate Ultramarines. It's that level. So I'd love it if we could get him to paint an Ultramarine. And the top 4, if I can, trust me, I get you, bro. I do. Just to put Chris through it. Just to put him through it. It'll happen. Hopefully. The top 4, like I say, go into an Instagram vote, which will be over on Chris's Instagram. So do make sure you give him a follow, CF Minis on Instagram. I'll get some links up to that. We'll get him in Discord as well. And the live stream will happen on Saturday coming. That's Saturday the 14th. It's going to be on at 11 a.m. running through to 7 p.m. where I will take on the Frozin in the Man versus the Mohawk challenge. Once we've got our minis painted in that 8 hours with chat completely shenaniganing all of our paint choices, it's going to make it really difficult. Once we've got through all that, if we can get through all that, then it goes to a vote on Instagram. You either vote for Chris or you vote for me. We'll collate the votes on both my profile and his profile. The loser has to do a 24-hour stream. They can paint whatever they want in that 24-hour stream. If it's me, I'll be getting off with some commissions or painting some Necron shit, or whatever our giveaway minis are, or whatever else. We'll find definitely something to do. But every 2 hours during that stream, they have to do a shout out for the winner and tell the winner how much they like them. Now, at 4 in the morning, Chris isn't going to like me very much. And I might just wake up just to tune in for that one. It's 4 in the morning, Jay. I love you, Jay. And I don't wish you were savaged to death by penguins. Crownblade! Getting a sub on, still entertaining, he says. After 6 months. Mate, most people can't put up with my shit for 6 minutes. You, sir, are clearly made of sterner stuff. Thank you very much, dude. Yeah, Chris is not a long haul streamer. He's a sprinter. Yeah, he's in it for the sprint. Me, I have reserves. This is power. That's what that is. So, quite definitely, I have the edge, I feel, when it comes to 24-hour stream. But I'm hoping that this is Chris's. Wraith 1 UK, did you say you're open to take on more commission work now? I will be. So, I will be doing this full time. And the situation was going to be that I would be doing this full time from, well, really, a week tomorrow. Actually, that was going to be the start date of Mohawk Miniatures as my single source of income, my professional, my profession, I suppose. That was what it was going to be. However, my job has absolutely fucked every single one of us that they're making redundant by making us, or at least currently making us, that is subject to change, and we significantly hope that it will be, work our notice rather than giving us paid time in lieu of notice, which was what they told us they were going to do. So yes, I am taking on some commissions. Depending on what you would like me to do, I smef 0017. That's cool. Thank you. Welcome to the stream. So yes, I may be able to take on some commission work in December. I've picked up a character mini to do in December for one of the guys that watches the stream, who may be in the audience. So I'll let them announce that if they want to. And I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a cool character to paint. I can probably pick up another small commission for December. Viking, 13 months! 13 months! Here's to you, brother. And Swift Soldier getting his follow on as well. Viking man, over a year now, buddy. What an absolute Superman you are. So yeah, let me know. Hit me up on Discord if you would like a commission done, or message me on Instagram, or something along those sorts of lines. We can sort something. That's kind of where we're going already, Ginger Steve. They furloughed the guy I work for last week. He's not my team leader because we have a QA team lead. But the guy whose project I work on and got furloughed, so what the fuck am I gonna do? And if we're being made redundant, it's because there's no work to do. So what the fuck are we gonna do? I don't know. It's just all kinds of fucked up, to be honest, buddy. We just gotta sort of suck it and see right now, and that's all we got. That's all we got. Right, you can barely see that little bit of feathering done at the bottom there, but that little white line that isn't even white yet. This is still a mixture of grey and white, just in that corner there. Now this is airbrushed white right at the very corner. By the time you put some brush paint down, it's going to be a lot thicker than that airbrush paint. It's going to come on a lot stronger, and therefore you will get that nice extra pop to it. I suggest an all-day, on-the-job nap. I can neither confirm nor deny that had crossed my mind. Fancy painting a new Tech Marine? I could paint a Tech Marine in December. Yeah. You probably thank/hate Liam for me and Viking as he brought us here from Moorhammer. Absolutely not, Des. Absolutely not. Liam is one of my favourite people ever. There was lots of talking with Liam after I found out I was being made redundant, and I can't talk about it. But there's some interesting conversations that were being had. Leave it at that. Well, I'll tell you what. Anyone that wants a commission, please send me a message on Discord. Like I said, in December, I've got some work on already. We're painting the Silent King, and we're painting the Void Dragon. So we've got some juicy commission work to do already. And then, like I say, we've got a character. We've got a marine character. It's quite a funky little marine character. I'm liking it. There you go, a couple more stripes there. You can just see them being picked up on camera there. And I will pick and choose a couple of commissions that I think I can fit in. And that I want to work on. Price Apothecary. I'm actually going to be painting the Apothecary for this Dark Angels force as well. We're converting up a Primaris Apothecary on bike. So that we've got something that is future-proofed. Still fits on a normal bike base. Fish says, when I was made redundant in the last recession, I had to go through a 3 months consultation period. They were also making my boss redundant. You just say, quite frankly, 100% losing our jobs, chat and do whatever. Again, neither going to confirm nor deny that that conversation may or may not have happened. In a purple glow and gold scheme. Sorry. Oh, probably not. Same guy. Sorry, it took me a second on that one. Totally spaced. Same guy, but because these are dynastic agents for one and a shard of a god for the other one, we might do different things. So I need to talk to Ben about exactly what he wants. But we've got loads of options. Loads of options for that. It's going to be super cool to paint regardless, though, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. Jamartin, we are streaming tomorrow. So tomorrow is the Hellstorm stream with myself and Mr. Herbert. That will be at 6 p.m. over on the Hellstorm Wargaming Twitch channel and also on their YouTubes as well. So go and become a small board gang member. Chill out with Mikey and I. The next stream will then be Tuesday here, where we'll either do more on Calgar or maybe we'll start off our other giveaway mini, which is the Inquisitor, Kyra Draxus, or Kyria, I think it is. Kyria Draxus. Alternatively, might be painting some Dark Angels. We'll see. We've got loads of stuff that we can get on with. The stream after that will be Thursday, more of the same. Then Saturday, me versus Frozin. And that Saturday stream, by the way, guys, I'll tell you what. We'll go early. It'll be slightly premature. For the first time ever, I promise you, it's literally never happened. Hi, Sarah. We'll be premature with good news. So we said the bad news, already got the bad news out of the way. That is done. Good news time. So Saturday, Frohawk stream, me versus Chris, marks the first in what will be a succession of Saturday streams. So we're going to stream every Saturday, probably 11 till 2, maybe 11 till 3, something like that. So we're going up to 4 days a week on this channel, and you got a bonus Hellstorm stream. So you get 5 streams with me in a week. Late morning, lunch, chill stream. Exactly that. I wanted to do something that was a slightly different set of timescales to normal. but I could also fit having a normal life around, seeing the other half, all that sort of stuff. And so Saturday streams are where it's going to be. And now, let's go over to Discord quickly for some more good news. Did I get mentioned somewhere in here? Perhaps. Doesn't look like it. Let's go to Patreon voting. So we have 3 Patreon channels just for Patreons. If you are a video viewer member or above, you get access to this channel where you can vote on things to go in a giveaway this month. So straw poll was, what should we use for the giveaway this month? Sergeant Ripper Jackson, good mini. Chaos Obliterator, great mini. Blood Bowl Minotaur, legendary mini. Or, because I want to paint one, an Invicta Warsuit. Well, I'm going to vote for that. Because I want to paint one, and I think they look fucking sick. Also, this is a giveaway that will be given away in December. So it's kind of a good Christmas gift for one of you guys, right? So let's have something banging coming out of this. Let's hit that vote button. And in a landslide victory, Sergeant Ripper Jackson, sorry love, people think you're shit in comparison, is not being voted. So, good news time. Here's a giveaway model for December. So yeah, hopefully not necessarily blue. If someone that plays an Ultramarines army wins this, I'll let it be blue. If you don't play Ultramarines, not blue. Very easy to magnetize. Apparently you don't even need to. Apparently you don't even need to. But this is the giveaway mini. The first of 3. I already know what's going in the mystery box. There'll be one other mini that is going to be an appropriate Christmas gift to one of you guys. Invicta Warsuit is in. Hiko, how you doing? You can paint a Blood Angels, you need a third. Do you, Najamai? And remember, guys, as well, for Patreons that pledge video viewer, you will get a bonus chance to win. Last month's bonus chance was won by Uriel Ventry, and he won Kyra Draxus for that second giveaway mini that we did. So there you go. Yellow, you know me, mate. I love painting yellow. That's not a punishment. That's a pleasure. There's like, I could do a second one, mate. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. You at least have an Ultramarines army. I'd settle for painting that one blue. Be okay with it. And that will be for subs only. Exclamation point mystery for a little bit more info on that. And remember, video viewer Patreon pledges will get a second shot at that giveaway. They won't be able to choose the mystery box. The mystery box is just for a channel sub. Still planning on doing New Year's Eve stream? I kind of am. I spoke to the missus about it, and she isn't really a New Year's person. The only stream that I'm probably not going to do, and bear in mind, we will now be doing those Saturday streams. So let me just double check Saturdays quickly. The 24th is a Thursday, Christmas Eve. I'm not really a Christmas guy. Christmas is just one of those days that, like, whatever. It's a fucking day. It doesn't matter to me whatsoever. But Christmas Eve is the only sort of Christmas tradition I have is Christmas Eve, where I sit down, have a smoke, have a drink, have a steak, and watch the greatest Christmas movie of all time. And at about 11 p.m, when Hans Gruber gets thrown off Nakatomi Plaza, it's fucking Christmas. This year, I might even do a double threat of my favourite Christmas movie. And do Die Hard, followed up by the second best Christmas film of all time. Lethal Weapon. Those two. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Lethal Weapon 1, a touching Christmas story about friendship and partnership. So good. I am too old for this shit. I'm getting that way. Martin, I might be old. I might even be older than you. But I look a lot younger than you, let's be fair. You clearly had a harder paper round than I did. Right, now we're going with some almost pure white. So we're mixing in a tiny amount of that grey from a minute ago. But we're going in pretty hard with Morrow White from P3. You do. I do. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. That's a good film, Diabolos. That is a good film. I grew up watching those. That was my childhood. Was that. Die Hard 2 is definitely an Xmas movie. That's my third favourite Xmas movie. But it definitely goes Die Hard 1, Lethal Weapon. Die Hard 2. Scrooged with Bill Murray. How can you not love that film? That is such an epic film. And then I'm kind of stuck for a fifth one. Nothing really reaches out to me and gives me the warm and fuzzies. He just loves Elf. Ugh. Martin, it's all good. As long as the top 4 have Ultramarines in, when they go to the Instagram vote between Monday and Thursday, Ultras will still have a chance. And we might see Chris painting an Ultramarine on stream for 8 hours straight. Now, when we do the show, Chris's stream will be in a little box here. So rather than this gallery we've got going on, that'll be Chris's stream, like most of his top-down views. You can see what's going on there. He'll have my stuff here. It's going to be great. Should be a nightmare before Christmas. It's not bad. Tim Burton can suck a dick. He peaked at Batman Returns, as far as I'm concerned. That's it. That's where he got good. Anything he's done with Johnny Depp, I can't back. I'm sorry, guys. I know I'm going to get hate in the chat for that, but Jingle All the Way, the Arnie film, I haven't seen that in such a long time. Good God. Yeah, that's old school. And to anyone out there that doesn't think Die Hard is a Christmas movie, feel free to leave the stream. It's set at a Christmas party. What more do you fucking want? There you go. Super bright white on that Omega symbol. In the next film, John Lithgow from Forever Ago, where they make special candy canes. Are they the candy canes that make you fly? isn't... Is that right? Ho ho ho, now I have a machine gun. So Crown Blade, you're a little early. I am still trying to find out the best way of doing this, but I have some merch that I'm going to put up. I'm thinking probably Redbubble is a good place for it. Last year, I had a Christmas jumper made, which I will be wearing when we get to December. It's a hoodie that has... God, can I find this? Can I find the pic? Let's see. Wooden Spoon Wargaming getting his sub on. That's 11 months, Matt. Nearly a year, brother. Nearly a year. It's not here, which is somewhere. Yeah, somewhere else. T-shirt designs, is it in there? Yes, here we go. Now I have a Gatling cannon. Ho, ho, ho. So I'm going to get that as a t-shirt design, probably somewhere like Redbubble or something similar. Still working at the best place for it. But if you would like some Mohawk miniatures, Christmas merch, keep your eyes peeled on all the social media stuff. It's got the right font and everything. You know, my artist, good old Hobo J, did a fucking banging job with that recreation. Could you put that on a cup? Matt, I think with Redbubble we can put it on pretty much anything. So we're going to go with something like that. I need to find out the best sort of platform for it. And then we'll advertise that and you can get your hands on some Mohawk Minis merch. And because it's Christmas, Theo, it's the time of miracles. Because it's Christmas, we will probably do a giveaway for a hoodie because it will help keep you nice and toasty warm, and you can wear it to the in-laws for Christmas lunch and they can sit there going, I don't get it, is this one of your silly toy soldier things? Can we get big boy sizes? And I'm game, but a cup would be awesome. So Craig, you own a gym, so I'm going to assume that I need a size that just says yoked next to it. And possibly also fits 6 or 7 people sleeping in berths, you know. I'll see what I can do. If it comes to it, dude, and wherever we go for it doesn't have your size, I will sort you out one way or the other. It's a vest like Boxy. I imagine he'd actually be able to wear the vest and make it look like a vest. So Snake, Mikey does, and Mikey and I, as you guys know, talk quite a lot. And when Mikey said, what do you guys think of this design? I said, I don't know, what do you think of this design from last year? And he was like, brilliant. So he knows, and he knows that we definitely snuck in there and got the early bird prize with the now I have a Gatling cannon, ho 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 shirt, but it's all good. We're brothers. I got absolutely no issue with him having that shirt out, and we both need the support basically to not put too fine a line on it. You know, we're both now full-time toy soldier people. So I don't begrudge him in the absolute slightest. But we got the font correctly, whereas he just fucking slapped that on, you know. Only the best over here. Hashtag bespoke / absolute copy of the Die Hard script. Also, big thanks to John Scrivens for drawing that night, and to Jake for adapting it with a jaunty Christmas hat. So, tiny little highlight of white on all these little bits of rope. Calgar, you and your fucking rope. Somebody get that film quote. I'll print you one. Danny, how you doing, man? 56 to 60-inch chest, pending on hussy. So, mate, if I can find it, then we'll do it for sure. And then you can try and get your entire gym to buy one. Boondock Saints. Yes. Been building the Flamey Boys. Awesome, dude. Absolutely awesome. We're giving Calgar some frosted tips right now. Just stippling on some highlight, leaving plenty of the grey, just building it up to a nice white. Yeah, a little bit of that, not quite salt and pepper style. And when you stipple, use the side of the tip of the brush, not the tip of the brush. Otherwise, you'll completely kill it, and well, that's no good, is it? So, looking to just get those highlights in. There we are. Gives you some texture that way. Using some tips for your YouTube video. Never thought of adding sand and small rocks to it and then using it as glue too. Mate, it makes such a difference. Such a difference. So, I don't know if you saw it on Instagram, Danny. Where the bases? Here. Here are some bases that I've done for the planes. Now the whole point of these, you can see there's that sort of cross shape in there. That flight stand will still fit, just nestled in. I super glued the flight stand in. You can see a few glue marks just in there if you look carefully. Put all the rocks in around it. So this is some cork. That looks like it's slipped a little bit, but we'll be able to get our flight stands in by hook or by crook, I'm sure. Might just super glue that back down afterwards. Got some burnt cork. This is new from Rival Crafts, actually. This stuff's really good. This is little charred bits of cork. And it smells a little bit like a campfire because it's been charred, but it's in quite a nice way. Weirdly, quite a nice way. Let's just clean that off now. Can't have a messy rim job. We know that's definitely not on the cards. Rim job, gotta be tidy. Then once all that super glue was dry, whacked on a load of pumice, threw on some little bits of particulate. We had our barrels that we've nestled in there as well, some barbed wire. That's just been glued on just by the pumice as well. That's on there pretty strong, as you can tell. And these are for some Raven Wing flyers to go on. Obviously, when you've got a flyer, you've got this great big like stand that sticks out from here. Grab one. That'll go in like so. Yeah. And normally what happens is the base just gets a little bit of fucking texture put down on it as almost an afterthought. A couple of bits of like static grass tufts, and that's the end of it. And it looks boring. So we've got two little slightly bombed out supply depots. Loza! How are you doing, my darling? So yeah, gonna have these bits out, spray all that, get all of our basing done exactly the same as in that YouTube video. How to turn your bases into something to be really, really proud of in just a few simple steps. That's how we did our chaplain's base. Super, super easy. The whole thing, the video takes about 15 minutes or so, and it guides you through every step of the process. No dry brush at all. Pigments, airbrush work. Super, super easy. Really, really happy with him. So yeah, loads of extra stuff you can do on bases, mate. Right, we could start painting red. Loza, I'm doing okay. Doing okay. We're going through some real life shit at the moment, but that's fine as well. Nice little crease there we can pop out a highlight on, and one just here too. There you go, you can see a little bit more detail there. So we could go on to the red. get all this sorted out, get his purity seal sorted out, or we could just continue base coating a load of stuff. I'll let you guys choose. We're going to be base coating. We've got some browns to do up here, which actually we kind of need. We do need to do that before we do the red, actually. Let's get all the leather done, because leather's one that we get asked, like, how do I distress leather? We've got slightly reddish leather we're going to do on it as well, so it'll kind of blend in. And I'm sure somebody asked me that only last week. So let's get that going. We're going to grab ourselves a nice dark brown. I think I've got some rhinox hide floating about here. We do. And we're going to get a sort of mid-tone red. Let's check out. No, not Scorn. That's slightly too light. This is good, but a bit thin. No, that's pretty perfect actually. Rojo Sangre, got some blood red going on. So start off prepping our palette with both of these. Loz, you say you're great. What are you up to recently? How was your Halloween stream, by the way? I saw your pumpkin headed dude. He looked very cool. What else have you been painting? There we go. So palettes prep, we got a little dot of both of those down. And let's get a little mix going on between those two. Just looking for a brown that's got some red tones to it. We're not looking for a red paint, just looking to keep it nice and dark. Doing a Silent King. Fuck yes. I've got two of those sat in boxes behind me. One of them's for me, and it will be part of the Kyberdyne dynasty at some point in the hopefully not too distant future. And then I've got another one to paint next month for a client, which I am super stoked about. Are you doing yours in your Ravecron style scheme? Do you have a name for your color scheme? Because I call it Ravecrons, but Daddy Tubbs, do you have anything to suggest for oil spills on bases? Do you mean like a leaky engine kind of oil spill where it's like a patch of oil? Or do you mean like shit, somebody called Greenpeace? What kind of oil spill are we talking? Like leaky car or industrial accident? Call them Harleycrons. That'll do. Harleycrons sounds good to me. Nice. So you're doing them like that? That is one hell of a colour scheme to do a mini that big in. That's a lot of work for you, doll. But I'm sure it will pay off and he will look epic in the end. You're doing industrial bases on my Death Girl on a different texture on the base other than heavily rusted metal. Okay, so cool. So you are looking for like grime and oil and all that sort of stuff. One of my favourites is from Secret Weapon Miniatures. Now you should be able to pick this up. Element, maybe, especially point Element. Soft body black. This shit is legit. This is basically a black contrast paint, but it is so much better. They've had this out for a couple of years, and it is a black soft body wash, which is what contrast paints are. The good thing about this, though, is that it is a somewhat gloss finish, and I use it for a lot of like streaking oil effects on knights, on the ruins that are my knights are walking through as well. That's on there. So this works really well for stuff like that. Vallejo weathering washes I've not tried, but hey, give that a go. And I know Secret Weapon do a lot of weathering style paints. So somewhere in their thing they have like engine grime is one of them, which looks exactly like what it says on the tin. You know, so those are a good place to start. You could, however, cut out that and just go straight to oil washes. Now they work really well, but you have to sort of go through the entire here's how you oil wash sort of training really for that, I guess. And I've done a load of videos on that, but there's nothing that I've done yet for YouTube or Patreon, which is a bit more of a condensed down view of how to do oil washes. So a lot of the content is you watching an entire show for maybe just getting that bit of info you want on oils. Not sure when I'll do one for either of those two platforms about oils. It's the sort of thing that I will mix into other tutorials rather than do a tutorial just on oils, like get the application of why you want it down in a tutorial. But probably when I do the how to paint a dark angel tutorial, we'll be getting the oils out, because that will make my life so much quicker if I oil wash all of the recesses in every one of these boys for the commission I'm doing. Look at this disappointment. Are you fucking kidding? I'm actually just not even going to accept their cookies. No cookies. You are not allowed. I think I'd rather try and fuck a cheese grater than buy any of those. That's just unnecessary. Right. Thanks for linking that in my channel, Danny. You should be ashamed of yourself. Not as ashamed as the people marketing those paints, but you know. I went on doing oil slicks then. I was planning on doing the whole army at once anyway. Cool. At least they didn't recommend it. Hell no. Wait, was there a mini on there as well? All I saw was the paint. Please tell me that there's not like an example of... No. Right. Never buy dry brush paints. Ever. If you have to dry brush, and trust me, you don't. And if you're feeling like, you know, maybe I kind of do because I'm struggling with painting or whatever, then just reach out and I will fucking give you some tips. I'll help you out. Even if you're not on the student course or anything like that, I'll fucking help you through it. It's alright. But if you have to dry brush, don't buy dry brush paints because they're going to cost you twice as much as a regular paint. And all it is a regular paint with less fucking medium in it. That's it. You still have to put your paintbrush in and wipe it off. You're just wiping off more expensive paint. Don't do it. Right, I need to use some of this to get in on some of our recesses here. Now, I've thinned this down a lot. We're not working with a glaze, we're not working with a wash, we're working with very thin paint. And we're just going to paint this into some of these recesses. Azia1, thank you for the follow. We're not going to do the Cheese Grater show on Twitch, I'm afraid. So if that's what you followed for, I'm afraid it's against Twitch terms of service. No fucking of culinary equipment live on air. They frown on that. So, super dark. As you see, Frozen is here. Speaking of dry brush in, here he is. The man of the hour, the tower of power. The sweet to your sour. Mr. Chris Frozen. The man who's going to lose the eternal battle of the Frohawk. Exclamation point, Frohawk. I've one squad with dry brush bases. I'm sorry, Jay. Too many sprues. You're a mod as well. There are standards here to maintain, man. I expect you to at least balance that out by drinking liquor out of a paper bag. Chris, and everyone that's just joined in, how you folks doing? Hope you've had a great evening. What was your stream, man? Frohawk is yours. In what world? In what world? Everyone knows, Chris, that when you end up painting an ultramarine, you're going to hate it, then lose the vote on it. Faces and bases coming in hot with a follow. Thank you very much, man. And then you're going to have to do an entire stream talking about, for 24 hours, how much you like me and the fact that I made you paint an ultramarine. Too Many Sprues. It was 5th edition. That was a dark time for a lot of people. Hashtag Grey Knight Meta. I will let you off. This one time, I will let you off. What was tonight's stream then, Chris? What were you up to, brother? I love the insanity and deluded views to Jay, mate. Without those deluded views, and there's nothing wrong with being deluded, people, I'm telling you. Without those deluded views, I would never have asked out some of the girls I've asked out, which means that I would never have gone out with some of the girls I've gone out with. Like, yeah, sure, she's in my league. Why not? We'll go say hey. You know? Nothing wrong with a bit of delusion every now and again. As far as insanity goes, that's just the new normal. Nothing wrong with a bit of insanity. It depends on how far insanity goes. If we're talking like underpants on head, maybe you have gone too far with the insanity. But as long as we're not yet at the underpants on head stage, keep going. So what we've done on the cape is a couple of quick shadows, as you can see. Hit some of those deepest recesses. I'm just painting this bottom section before I forget to. Remember, all this was airbrushed on stream last stream. Which was back on Tuesday now. Pencils up your nose. Pencils up your nose is mostly okay. It depends on like whether you need a holder or not, you know. However, I have found that a much more sanitary place to help hold things is, of course, the beard, because there it's not up your nose and there's less danger of impalement. So anyway, what are you working on today, dude? Other than trying to convince your community not to vote for Ultramarines. Rebel Raider, thanks for that follow and welcome to the stream. What's cracking? Alright, any more to do in Brune? Not really. Let's try and get another couple of shades in here. There's another few creases we can really pick out, I'm sure. Up in this slightly more shadowed area that we have. So go very, very thin, very light brush pressure. Just hitting a couple of them. Not do every one. Don't need to. Not everything will have that much darkness associated with it, but this area up here could do with a touch more. So we're actually going to fatten out that shadow a touch. Nice and deep. Oh yeah. Ventress, how you doing? B-Swing77, thank you for the follow and welcome. Started converting the Lord Archon. I did see your Instagram post about that actually, yeah. Nice. Reckon it's going to rival the Spider. There's underpants on head and there's some of the stuff my countrymen are pushing. Yeah, sorry about that. I've avoided most of the news because oh god, I just don't need. And Chris, sorry, I just realized you put that message in twice. Painted a Locust Destroyer and they got blamed for painting too well. You rat bastard. How dare you paint so well, Chris? Viking, can I make Chris paint his hair as well? That's between you and Chris. I only go with a solid maybe. Who knows past that point? Right, let's get some highlights on this leather. So we're going to mix up a little bit more of that reddish brown. And then, because I'm feeling lazy, I'm just going to add in a little bit more red to it. And no, I actually need to go back to the paints. I'm going to get some bone. So let's go for... Actually, let's not go for bone. Let's do something slightly different. Let's grab some Steel Legion Drab out. So we've got that reddish brown mix on the palette. Now we're going to add a dark tan to it, which is basically what this is. Oh no. Yeah, my paint lid is broken. Okay. Oh, I've got no cocktail sticks about. Crud. Yeah, hopefully that's fixed the issue. Yes, it has, just about. There we go. Just got some Steel Legion Drab on the palette. Doing a whip later on? Absolutely, dude, mate. Could go with some help on what to do next on a cape and a few bits of my Sons of the Phoenix. Absolutely done. Yeah, get me the whip, mate. And just make sure you ask in that post so I remember this conversation. So we're mixing this in. We're going to end up with a dark brownish pink. Which is going to sound pretty grim. It's a little bit like Bugman's Glow, though, what we've got out here. Slightly darker version of that. Don't forget, guys, !Frozin, go and vote. We've currently got, is it Ultramarine, Sons, not Sons of Phoenix, Soul Drinkers, Space Wolves, and Excoriators, I think, are the ones that are being highly voted. Did we get much movement on that, Chris, or are we still at that point? Yeah, let's get some nice edge highlights put in on those. Get a nice warm, rich, reddish brown now there with the addition of that kind of flesh colour highlight we're putting down. If we'd gone with bone, we would have ended up with something just a little bit too bright. We're just going to try and stick in that mid-tone just a little longer. And keep these relatively dark, because all this is going to be bone, these are going to be bright red. This gold, obviously, you know me, is going to stay really, really poppy and very sort of in your face. So we want to keep this dark to boost that contrast level between the two. Also, Craig, I think you asked earlier on how many guys do I need to undercoat for tomorrow. Honestly, dude, 2 would be probably one too many, but have a spare just in case. Alright? We're working our way through from the ground up in the Airbrush Next Steps Special Effects course. And we'll be working at your speed as well, which is the more important part of that. Let's go with a little bit more Graveyard Earth, and then also a touch, and I mean like a touch, of that white we had earlier on. Maybe a little more. Here we go, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at not quite Cadian flesh tone, slightly darker version of that. Viking, peace out, man. Calling this pre-shade done, I think. Cool beans, dude. Let's have a quick squiz. Okay, I'd say yes, but, alright, it's way better than it was before. You've got some of those flatter areas, so look at the torso there. Yeah, you've got nice and bright, and then down here you've got darkness. This is great. The point of this pre-shade, though, is to get shadow into the areas that need shadow. And if you look at that thing's crotch, bear with me, I'm not being vulgar for the sake of it. On the thigh that's kind of pointing forward, you've got that little like hemisphere, little half circle, crescent shape style thing of brightness there. That needed to be in shadow. So for stuff like that, don't be afraid of taking the airbrush and just like literally pointing it right at it and pulling the trigger. Pi1903, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. So that's one extra step in your pre-shade there you needed to have done. Don't be afraid of some of your pre-shade being absolute darkest color you could possibly have on there as well. We will go through that when we do your first lesson in the Airbrush Next Steps of Special Effects course. Talk a little bit about that. I also need to know what chapter you want to paint and so on for the Marines that we're painting. Right, let's get a little highlight down now with this somewhat darker Cadian flesh tone style-y paint that we've made up using brown, red, white, and Graveyard Earth. And we've just got a couple of little highlights to get on here. This is going to try and accentuate the shape a little bit more as well. So see this edge where it comes down there, it bends around that corner. Now we can start popping that highlight in there as well. So it's a small detail, but it's all good. Seen you a few times and I've watched Mikey's stream, thought the show some love. Oh, cheers, dude. Much appreciated. We'll be on the Hellstorm stream tomorrow night, as usual, from 6 PM. Voted on me. Soul Drinkers, purple. One horse race in it. Nice. Faces and bases, really appreciate the vote. I'm still hoping for an Ultramarine, just so Chris has to paint an Ultramarine. But out of the four, the one I really want to paint is the Excoriators, because they look fucking sick. And making bone fade properly is super difficult. So, nice little challenge there. It's going to be fun. Especially if halfway through someone's like, no, you can't use bone paints anymore. I mean, at that point, there may be some actual tears. There may be bargaining with the community to try and avoid that being the case. Your ex could make bone fade well. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Smelly Ferret, that's another amazing name. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Damn, man, nice work. Nice work. Right, it's going to mix in even more white with this now. We're going to go super pale. And we're just going to add in some wear marks to this leather. We don't do too many because it's Calgar. You know, previous Lord of Ultramar in the 500. And an absolute boss. He's going to be given new shit every now and again. So let's just start popping a couple of small wear lines. So looking for more of a specular style highlight on there. Those little dots, you can just about see them. And then on this area where we've got the nice sort of flat side to it, this is where we can start bringing in those really tiny lines. You need to have very light brush pressure for this. You're looking for something super thin. One of the best ways of ensuring your lines stay thin is by using paint that is the correct consistency. So if you're finding it's difficult coming off your brush, add more water. Let that paint flow. And then suddenly you'll get super, super skinny lines. A little bit of water makes all the difference. In fact, you can even see a difference on stream there as well. Lote49, thank you for the follow and welcome. Dude, take care. Thank you for joining the stream, Ginger Steve. We will see you tomorrow, I think. Tomorrow morning, right? Take care, man. What Space Marine movie based on the Ultramarines of the day? The PS2 game, but it was an alright movie. Thought it was going to waste an hour and 30 minutes. Fair. I've heard nothing but horrible, horrible things about that film, and that I should never watch it. And so, as a result, I have not. However, has everyone seen the new Astartes trailer? Fucking palpitations on that shit. Let's see if we can find it. I'll play it. New keyboard, wireless keyboard. It's a super shit one, but I don't have a Starship Enterprise's fucking main deck on my Astartes Astartes teaser. I want the official one. Nobody's fucking reaction to all that shit. Damn. It's not on his YouTube. Oh, damn. Okay. Right, I need to just place the screen about there. I think should give me... No, too far. Here we go. Right, let's pause that. You ready? This is... Let's just one more time. Woo! Woo! Might be a little bit sexy when it came out. Just holy fuck balls. So good. So good. That Space Marine block, like dunk, trap the arm, and just smash that dude. Oh, yes. I cannot tell you how many times I've done that block. Watching a fucking Marine do it. Also, Flesh Tearers, get in. Get in. The badassery is on literally another scale. Jamai, you'd be really disappointed in me. This is not whiskey. This is... I'll show you guys in risk violating Twitch's terms of service. This is not good, but it was bought for me, and it's sweet, and I wanted something sweet this evening. It's nasty stuff. It's basically hazelnut, caramel, and nugget liqueur. And it's not very strong, but I just wanted something sweet. I'm like, yeah, sure, we'll try some of that. It's okay. Right, going to work on the red a bit more. So we're going to start off on this sword. Let's get all of our purity seals based in red as well. So we're still using that scale 75 blood red. Yeah, I know. Moonshine at 25%. Like, are you fucking kidding? I've got some moonshine on my drinks rack, which I can't... It's over there, buried in the corner. It's not on the rack, actually. Which is real moonshine made by people that are drinking it for its qualities of getting you to the point where you can't feel your teeth anymore. And that is around 85%. So, you know, That's real moonshine. That stuff is a spirit drink, let's be honest. And anything that has spirit drink written on it is new. New. Bulgaria? I don't know Bulgaria. That's a new one for me. So you see we're leaving just a little bit of that red and brown mix just in the recesses there. I still can't get over that fucking Astartes trait. Oh. Tyranids, Orcs, Marines. Drinking wine? Man of culture you are. I've got some Vikings blood, which I'm going to break out if I don't have it between now and Christmas with the missus. I'm going to break that out over Christmas, I think. That looks pretty nice. It's going to be at least one person. Oh no, he's gone to bed. No, he's not here. He's not here to back that choice. Nice, dude. For me, wine is almost always, if I'm going to be drinking wine, French red from the Loire Valley or Cote de Rhone, you know, somewhere in that area. It's always nice and rich. If you or like a Syria, something like that. Yeah. Haggis Hunter, how you doing? How's some haggis is? So Craig, I'm glad you said that because I've never tried it, but I do like cherry mead, and so I'm kind of looking forward to it. My other half likes mead. She can't drink much at all. So she abstains. She'll have a little bit of rum if I'm drinking some rum. She'll have a little bit of rum. If I'm drinking some whiskey, she'll have a little bit of whiskey. That's kind of it. Brett! My man! How are you doing, dude? I'm doing great. I'm painting old school Calgar, one of my favourite GW minis. This was the height of their metal mini production as far as I'm concerned. I love this, dude. This was a giveaway for last month. This was won by one of the guys here in stream, and not that. And this was won by one of our Patreon members, Earl Ventry, in the second chance that Patreon guys get. Those same Patreon guys also get to vote on a mini to go in the next month's giveaway. And that vote concluded today. And so in this month's giveaway stream, one of the minis that we are giving away, Van Factor, thank you very much for the follow. Much appreciated, dude. The first of our 3 giveaway minis is an Invicta Warsuit. Because it's fucking cool. Look at it. It's pretty effing epic. And I hope it won't be blue. That's all. We're doing blue right here. So that's one of the giveaway minis. The giveaway stream is when? What date is the giveaway stream? It's a Sunday, the 29th. Sunday, the 29th. Oh, I love it when giveaway streams are on Sunday. Sunday streams are the best. That's going to be epic. Don't forget as well, for those of you wanting to get some extra meeps, win that £50 hobby voucher we give away every month. Next Saturday, I'll be streaming from 11 AM to 7 PM with Chris Frosin. So you can come here and get your meeps for that. And that will mark the first of our regular Saturday streams. We're going to be streaming on a Saturday from probably 11 till 2. How does one become a Patreon? Exclamation point Patreon. There you go. Those always need to be yellow and have a hive tyrant hanging off of it. I mean, that just sounds awesome. Lime green murder hornet. I mean, we could do. Could do. You're here every stream this week. What time do you normally start? We start at 9 p.m. Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday from 9. We also do the Hellstorm stream on Mondays at 6. And then, like I just said, we will be doing streams every Saturday, starting from next Saturday, starting at 11 a.m. So you're going to be doing 5 streams a week. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. That Saturday stream will go probably 11 till 2. Sundays might be a little more than that. Depends on what we've got going on, I guess. Just looking for all the little red gems. Calgar, of course, has all of the bling. So, got to make sure he's well looked after. But on Patreon, for Dan, for your benefit, there's a couple of tiers. All of the ones that would include painting lessons are currently sold out. There will be more added once I work out what the fuck is going on with my day job, which I was meant to be leaving a week tomorrow. That cape is bright, mate. That cape is banging. I don't know what you're talking about. Nice bright white on the insides. Nice rich red on the outside. It's got some highlights to do on that as we progress through our red. It's just the airbrush work so far. Captain Cav, thank you for the follow and welcome. 5 streams a week. Do we talk about mod contracts for all these streams? So, all you mods will get a Christmas bonus. Like, I can guarantee you that. I did last year. I will this year. Other than that, it is an unpaid position and it's an entirely voluntary position. Like, you don't have to be here for any of those additional streams at all, man. I will probably try and find somebody that is going to be here on a Saturday on the regular and mod those once I've got to know them a little bit. But I very much appreciate everything that you guys do. This stream would be a lot harder without some of you folk. That's for damn sure. So don't worry, I will look after you. Come Christmas, get a bonus. Definitely be here as often as possible as you... I know that, mate. That's because you're a fucking legend. Let's get some love for the mods, people. They have to put up with my shit more often than any of you guys. Jager, Tooney Sprues, That's Undares. Absolute bosses, all of you. Right, and God, there's purity seals everywhere. All these purity seals, Calgar, clearly virgin. Too much purity. Needs to release some pent-up frustration, clearly. That's why the double fists. All that anger. It's not Gauntlets of Ultramar, it's need to get laid. Insisting on a fisting. Hey, you're right, kinky bastard. But right, any more purity seals? I don't think so. There's probably one somewhere that we've missed, but no. But we have missed the entirety of the inside of his fecking cape. Tooney Sprues, honesty, brother. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Right, let's just mix up a real dark reddish brown. Again, thin that a touch. I've used a bit of black because that was all that was on the palette. We ran out of the brown. Let's just get in here. And we'll rapid fire through this section. So, not really wet blending, we're just not waiting for it to dry before we go on with our highlights. And we're going to stay reasonably dark with these highlights anyway. This is all on the inside, so it's going to be very little light getting through here. Work up to the next highlight nice and quick. There you go. You could barely see it to begin with. Now it's got a little bit of colour on. Mod fight! Mod fight! Where are we at? We're at 10 to 11. We've got plenty of time. We can get this red finished off. So I'm going in with another coat of the same stuff on this sword. We are working nice and thin. It's going to help stop some streaking paint and some brush marks showing up. So we can do many, many coats of this before we start moving up to that real nice Calgar red base, which is my replacement for Evil Sun Scarlet. I just think it's better. I loved Evil Sun Scarlet. That was a really, really good red, but this I think it's just something else. It's a good little je ne sais quoi. Use French for. And then I found out. Name that film. No yellow here, iron within, iron without. Yes! Absolutely. Let's get some fucking hazard stripes on it. Let's do Loyalist Iron Warriors Invicta Warsuit. Let's do that. Find some more gems. Got a big one in the pommel of his sword. Right up here. Hey peeps. Oh, that's the whip thing. So yeah, at the end of the stream, we do a whip gallery. If you'd like to show off what you've been working on, want to see it on the stream, exclamation point Discord. Head over to the work in progress gallery there. Upload some images. Ideally, no more than 3. Only because I want to give everyone their fair shout. I want to make sure everyone can see their work represented on stream. I hate skipping stuff. It makes me feel really guilty. So please don't make me feel guilty. Please just put in 3. Des, we will definitely be done. Iron Warriors are for knobbers! Brett! Brett! How dare you? Iron Warriors are the best. Because hazard stripes are the most metal thing in the world. Peter Rabbit is one of the cooler Primarchs. Yes, he was. Actually, he was a bit of a twat. I can't back you on that. And I love the Iron Warriors. He was a cockend. And I had a bit of a tantrum, you know. Danny, absolutely. Absolutely. But we didn't do bright blue glow on weapons. We did orange and blue armor. And I think that works really, really, really well. You know, massive, massive contrast between the two of them. Think about what you did. Absolutely. Smashes Fulgrim's head in with a Clockwork Titan. Okay, haven't got that far. Haven't got that far in the books, so hopefully not too much of a spoiler. Aside from the fact that that's a gigantic spoiler. Gypsy's going to sleep. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Right. Before I highlight the rest of the red, I kind of want to get that bone at least laid down with a base coat. So we're going to go back to our Steel Legion drab and just base coat in all of that. It's just all of the purity seals, the skull up here on the shoulder, and that should be about it. There's another fucking purity seal right up here. I knew there was going to be one that we missed. Oh, Calgar. You absolute virgin. All the purity, way too pure. Everyone, Calgar needs to get laid. Perty was definitely a clown. Hanzo is a better Primarch. Hanzo? How do you feel about contrast paints? Gamblerina, I think they have some uses. Some of them have some uses. I don't think they should be used in a way Games Workshop marketed them to be used, which was take your Space Marine and slap Gulliman Blue or whatever it is all over it. Ta-da! There's an Ultramarine. I think they work really badly for stuff like that. Like really, really badly. They don't highlight as they dry. They give you a blotchy suit of power armor, and it looks terrible. However, I use the black one quite a lot for doing things like the vents in between joints. I use the red one a load because that's the Flesh Tearers red, because that is a beautiful fucking red. It's such a nice red, but don't paint it over something metallic because the finish looks different. It's hard to highlight with. Troopstickle, thank you for the follow and welcome. Brett, so I was talking about that earlier on, and I won't belabor the point because we've covered it a couple of times now. It was meant to be the 21st of this month, so not next weekend, but the weekend after. But I don't know if you were aware of this. One of the reasons why we have Patreon and a few other bits now is because I'm about to become a full-time artist, and that is because I am being made redundant from my job. Myself and my entire team of software engineers are no longer needed at the company we work for, apparently, and so that is the end of that. And originally they told us we didn't need to work through our notice period, which is 3 months. So that's 3 months worth of paid time to just get on with things, and so I had loads of time to do some additional commissions, which I've taken on, painting lessons, which I have sold for our Patreons, and so on. And basically on Thursday they said, oh, actually we've changed our mind. We can't afford to pay you time off in lieu, so you're going to have to work your notice. And as you can imagine, we're distinctly unhappy about that. There are people that have found new employment, and they are due to start in literally a matter of like weeks, and are now stuck in a notice period of 3 months that if they leave within that time, they could be sued for being in breach of contract. So that sucks for them. For me, I've basically sold my time either as a tutor for private coaching or as a commission painter, and I do not want to be unable to fulfill those obligations, and so I will probably go from working 50 to 60 hours a week, which is what I do currently, to working 90 to 100 hours a week to ensure that I can meet those obligations for the next 3 months. And so because of that, the Necronathon 2 is on indefinite hold. Kind of has to be, so that we can get through this, and then we will do it. But that's gutting because I really, really, really want to get these Necrons done. I've got about 6,500 points of Necrons, and to you guys in the chat, like, much love. Cheers, guys. Like, you know, right in the feels. Thank you. And Troopstickle, fuck man, unlucky. Hopefully you're back on your feet by now. I feel very lucky about the fact that I have this business that I've run for the last few years, that I can just use this as an opportunity to do it full time. However, I am obviously not pleased about the current circumstances that we're going through. With like an uncertainty of when our finish date is, especially when we're all told that's going to be the way it is, you know. Haggis Hunter, thank you, man. John Slayer, yeah, absolutely. There's fuck all I can do about it. You know, the decision was made by somebody else. It was the wrong decision, but whatever, they've made their mind up, and that's that. But yeah, I'm lucky. I have this between Patreon and Twitch and the commissions. I can definitely support myself. You know, we were in a position where we're going to be looking to reduce my working hours next year anyway, go down to 4 days a week, so I could produce content for YouTube. It's just happened a little earlier than I wanted it to, and in a way that wasn't my decision. And that almost hurts more in the fact that it wasn't me saying, right, here's what's going to happen, and not having that control. You know. Oh, Tony Spruce, like, honestly, dude, I did that shit for 10 years as a chef. I'm not that young anymore. You can tell with the greys coming in the beard, but it's 3 months. It doesn't matter what it is. You can do pretty much anything for 3 months. Yeah? I've had a few long chats with the missus about this. She's on board. She is aware that it is potentially going to be a bit tough over the next few months, and we may not be able to see as much of each other as either of us want to have. But she understands. So we're all good. Danny, what up? How you doing? So yeah, Brett, the Necronathon will happen at some point, either by the end of this year or by the end of the spring, we'll say. Where Necrons will not be hot shit anymore. There will just be actual shit, I'm sure, and I'll have another massive army that's useless to go alongside my knights, which are useless, but I somehow manage. J Ninja Kitten, thank you for the follow and welcome. Dude, I'm good. I'm alright. I am alright. Looking very forward to tomorrow morning where we get to do some painting lessons. We've got 3 painting lessons. That's 4.5 hours of tuition that is definitely not taking place in my work time. So if any of my employers are watching, I promise you that's not while I'm working. World top ITC placing with robots, promise you. Mate, I'm top 50. Top 50 playing knights with a second place finish at a GT, an undefeated finish at an RTT, a second place podium at an RTT, and a 4-2 record at a major. Not bad, right? Not bad at all. Go Stompy boys. I do paint my own minis, just very rarely. Like, most of what I paint is other people's toy soldiers. But yes, I do paint my own. All of my own armies are painted by me. Because for me, especially as a commission painter, that's your advert. When you go to a tournament, and I try and go to as many as possible. Obviously, like everybody else right now, I'm going to a big fat none. When you get to the tail end, it's like, oh, they look sick. Like, cheers, man. My name's Jer. We're a commission painting company. You know, I can make your army look this good. So, top 10 Necrons without using Scarabs. Yeah, I've got more than just Scarab spam lists. For definite. The Scarab spam is strong, right? It is strong. Because you get Scarabs that are durable, and it takes your opponent too much of a commitment to get through, especially if you've got Chronomancers in your list, because you're giving them that 5-up invulnerable save, which doesn't sound like a lot, alright? But when there's 36 wounds in the unit, with a 5-up, followed by, depending on how many die in one turn, so if they overcommit anti-infantry shooting, you can then bring back some of those Scarabs using reanimation out of harm's way. Reanimation protocols, honestly, guys, is super, super powerful. Just ask Jim Martin. We played a game, and I was fucking him about with reanimation. He was definitely still, like, the driving force in the game with his Sanguinary Guard spam list that he had. But that reanimation, just like, you can't do that anymore, you can't do that anymore, you can't. It's so good. So good. Haggis, peace out, man. No, Brett, I totally understood what you meant. Totally. But I'm agreeing with you. I could definitely go down that route as well. But it's got that just reliability. You know, it's right in there. It's super, super easy to do. Let's keep working on our red. I need that Kador red. Danny, you take care as well, man. Have fun, dude. Thanks for stopping by. We've got about 10 minutes before we start heading into the whip. So if you guys have got stuff you're going to show off, exclamation point Discord, go join in over there. Post up some pics. Show me what you got. Dirty Habit! Dude, I haven't seen you for a little while. How are you? Coming in with that good old dirty habit of yours of just dropping bits on the stream's ass. Mate, feels like forever. How you been? And Forks Art, good evening to you too as well. Right, so a mix of Kador Red and that Rojo Sangre. Good old Scale 75 paint. Let's start hitting every single one of these purity seals. Going to do the outside and a tiny dot just on the inside there as well. Just going to make these really jump out a little bit from the nice warm brown that we've got there on his leather bits. Working hard, not so much painting hard. Fair dues, man. Fair dues. Hope you're looking after yourself, mate. Especially at the moment, you know. There's way too much paint on my brush, but we somehow managed to just about hit those edges. Paint's too thick as well. It's better. Just noticed I'm currently top demon player in the UK. Gumbalina, no way! Awesome, dude. Do I know you? Have we been to any events together? Just received my McFarlane Space Marine. Oh, mate. I didn't get a chance on that. They were gone by the time I had a chance to get into the web store for it. They were just done. Next chance, we'll try and get the Hell Blaster, dude. But there might be a gigantic marine that might be being painted next month. Might be. And it might be being auctioned off, perhaps. Merry Christmas. Spoilers. You live down south? Whereabouts, dude? I'm Gloucestershire based. We host an event, well, alright, pre-COVID, we host an event at my local, which is Stroud. Oh god, you live miles down the other way then. But yeah, we do an RTT every month, and Bristol Independent Gaming, or BIG for short, usually hosts a couple of GTs or majors a year as well, so well worth looking out for that too. I go to as many events as I possibly can because I fucking love tournaments. That is my absolute jam. Number one night player in the world last year and this year, because no one's playing nights other than me. And currently top 50 ITC worldwide. I think I was 39. Can't remember. Say what, says Dirty Habit, mate. I can't possibly repeat what I just said. You know, that would be asking for trouble. But there might very much be a gigantic marine being painted sometime next month and raffled off into the channel. It could happen. It could happen. Right, gonna keep this nice and thin. We've got a little bit of orange on the bottom here, which is just red mixed in with a little of Flash Kits yellow. But what I'm going to do is just hit some of the highlights up here using this current red that we've got. Because there should be highlights here, but they shouldn't be orange like the bottom of the cape. They don't have the same amount of light getting to them for that to be the case. So let's just pop in some of these while we're working with this particular hue. Don't need to do a lot. Just want to get a couple. Help bring some shape to some of these creases. You see that's just helping out. Right, this one somehow managed to repeat itself. Let's skip over that. Also, I suppose by the time things like Bad Moon Cafe get back up after lockdown, that's probably not so bad for you, Gumballina. Conradson, how are you doing, dude? I love it. Every single time you come into the stream, you say hello to the chat, and you tag me as well. Say hello. It's always a fucking wonderful thing, man. Thank you. Just going to get a little highlight just here. Most of that, and just tidy it up a little bit. There. Smurf Terminator. I think you'll find. This is not any Smurf Terminator. Hi Lord. No, not Rabute. This is Calgar. This is Calgar's best mini. That Primaris one is cool looking and all, but this was where he peaked. This is proper Calgar, the utter baller that he was. The absolute best metal mini that GW ever produced. Top 3, I guess, would be this guy. Lilith Hesperax in metal. Yes, she had a club foot, but the rest of that miniature was fucking beautiful. And then it's another Space Marine. Sorry about that. Space Marine Chaplain Power Armor, the one with a Power Fist and a Crozius. That one was sick. That one was super sick. So yeah, those are pretty my top 3 favorite metal sculpts. What about you guys in the chat? Anyone got some old school love for some metal minis? He is a beautiful miniature, mate. This was gifted to the stream by a very special person, because they asked me what I'd wanted to paint that I'd never got around to, and I said this, and they just went off and eBayed it and sent it straight to me. And that person is a fucking lad. Out of interest, how long have you been collecting for? Oh man. So I've had 2 breaks of about 5 years, but pretty much 30 years. So 30 years of time from start to finish, and then 5 years twice in there taken out. So in total 20 years, but 30 years in the hobby. Does that make sense? Wood Elf Lord with 2-handed sword, absolutely beautiful. Yes, it was. I had that. That was a really good mini. I bought a big Wood Elf army when they first got released. I just started working with G-Dubs, and that army came out in the limited edition box. Had the standard bearer that was only available in that box. That was fucking gorgeous. The spell singers, the spell singer that was kind of like both arms up like that. I turned him into a Chaos Sorcerer. Janelson! Hello, you. How are you? I turned him into a Chaos Sorcerer, and he looked sick. No, not that one. But that's very cool. There was one that had the Power Fist out at an angle, and the Crozius, so he was kind of stood like that, rather than like one arm forward with the Crozius. So he was more in like an open wide chest and arms pose. Let's see if I can find him. But nice work on that. Everyone go follow Janelle over on Insta. Here's the one. This is the absolute fucking boy. God, he looks so dated now, though. This one here. That, I still love it. I still love it. The come at me, bro pose. Absolutely. I'll fucking crush you. Come on, what you got? Oh, such a fucking lad. No, love him. Absolutely love him. Got him, not painted yet. Nice. Right, chapter 2. I think you'll find the correct chapter for that is a Black Templar, which is how mine was back in the day. But I gave mine a jump pack as well. Because he had absolutely no time to waste closing with the foe. He needed that jump pack. Right, got another couple of purity seals because there's 8 trillion of the fucking things. And we are nearly, in fact, we are kind of at whip time. So we'll head over to Discord now. And I can do a little bit more red off stream. Basically, all I'm going to do for the red, for the next steps, so you guys don't miss out on much, is just add in a little bit more Kador red and just do the general red bits. When we get to things like, so that's the purity seals and the gems, basically. When we get to the sword and the bottom of the cape, we're going to just mix in a little bit of Flashgit's yellow, so bring that up to a little bit more of an orange. Still keep it nice and warm red, though, not an orange, really. And just hit some highlights down there, a little bit more on that scabbard. You can see we've got a nice blend there already, just with what we've got. That's super easy. So, yeah, Calgar is coming on strong. We'll try and get more work done on him on tomorrow night's Hellstorm stream. We get all the bone done. Once the bone is done and the red is done, that leaves just the metals to do and the base. And, of course, that base. And then, so far, we're on target with him. We'll try and do the face on Tuesday stream. There we go. That's the goal for Tuesday night stream, is get the face done and the base done. Calgar's looking good. Calgar is looking good. What a quality mini. Do you mind? I know. I totally know. I saw the Blood Angel knee pad, but definitely it should be a Black Templar. That was when they got released. It was when the Black Templars book came out. That was the whole point of all those extra chaplains, was go Templar, go. Right, let's go see what you guys have been working on. We're heading over to Discord. We've got a couple of PMs. Cool beans. I'll get to those after the stream. Let's look in the whip. Nothing in the Patreon whip from any Patreon members. So this is Quid. He says, second Death Guard done. Tried some OSL for the first time. Thinking of changing the Nurgle bits from purple to a flesh tone. It's meant to be the body deforming from under the armor. Still really enjoying these. Each playground is different, almost like painting a character model each time. So with regards to the purple bit, no, I would keep it. I would 100% keep that purple. Mate, that's... Oh, yes. Great colour palette. So yes, you're right. It is the skin sort of breaking through. But remember, this is a superhuman... No, a transhuman that has been touched by the god of rebirth and decay. His skin can be any fucking colour you want. Purple works. Against the bone and the green, it pops off so well. My favourite thing about your style of painting, and it's going to sound weird, guys, but fucking bear with me, right? My favourite thing about your style of painting is how soft everything looks. There's no harsh edges on stuff. It's all nicely rounded, nice gradient highlights. It is lovely. Your OSL, I'm trying really hard to find fault with, and I can't. The blade isn't quite as good, but that's down to the sculpt more than anything else. That little glow on the backpack is fucking lush, mate. Absolutely fucking lush. His eyes need something. I think you just need a little dark line, so it's difficult to describe, but you've got the lens, which is flat, and you've got the armor that protrudes a little bit from around it, and you just need, and it is so hard, you just need to do a line on the very, very bottom of the lens where the armor just protrudes out from the face a little bit before it comes down. That top line of the armor there, if you just darken that down, it sells the shape of the eye lens a bit more. And because your eyes are, your lenses are so pastel and bright, you need that delineation in there just to snap them a bit more into focus. And it's that tiny fucking. Can I show you it on this guy? Yeah. Right. Let's hope. I think I managed to fix the camera focusing issue. Oh, we did. See that tiny, thin, dark line just underneath the lens? It's that little bit of separation that you need to just snap that back into focus. That's all. And then that light green will just be removed slightly from the armor, and it'll work perfectly. Oh, got the focus working! So happy. I've tried to avoid touching the camera for the entire fucking stream because of that, but we got it. So, that's a nice Chaos Marine. Old meme, but it checks out. With your bases, I'm not sure if you need the oil spill. The reason behind that is rust appears when there is oxidization of metal. If there is oil in the way, it will form a barrier and stop it oxidizing. So be careful by adding it. Hype J's camera skills. Cheers, brother. Yeah, be careful about adding too much of it. But I would take a soft body black or something similar and just get a little bit in there here and there. People have to do a lot of work in the whip to impress me more than that many there, Daddy Tubs. So thank you very, very much for sharing. I fucking love it. Crazy Ant still getting on these Imperial Fists. He's gone back. He's got 2 Tank Marines and 2, I've forgotten what they're called, Goliaths? Is it Goliaths? These look like they've been slightly converted. That kit's not out yet, right? Magnetize the weapons. Gladiator. Is that out now? I didn't think they were out. It is out. Nice. Cool. In that case, I think I've got 2 of these to do next month. Oh wait, no. Nick's waiting for the. What do you call it? The came out yesterday. All right, sweet. In that case, I think I've got 2 of those to paint in December as well. More Dark Angels. Nice work, dude. They don't look quite as. Like the rest of your Imperial Fist look really, really weathered. Is that just yet to go on these, or is they just new, so therefore they're not as beat up? What's the deal on that? They look great, as always, man. I really like those Primaris Tech Marines as well. It's a very cool mini. It was a bit coming, but it looked quite like... okay, cool. See, Des, I didn't think so either. Are these 3D printed? Like, if it's like a conversion kit for Impulsor, sure. Had them in your fucking hell. And to be fair, Jager, like, You've seen what this boy does, right? He has the fucking craziest output. Let's check out. G-dubs. Warhams. Bethlehem. And heavy support, I guess. It's not there. Let's do the noon exclusive. Let's try pre-orders. There was a rumor of Gladiators already being delivered to GU stores and was supposed to be on this weekend. You might have made a boo-boo. Holy shit. Crazy Ank with a fucking world exclusive. Look at you. Archon Castles. You're at Games Workshop. Oh shit, we're all Games Workshop. Oh shit, all our Games Workshop stores are fucking closed. Oh. Alright. Fucking go Crazy Anked with his completely legit Gladiators. World exclusive to you. Damn, son. Damn. Right, Ventress. All still whip. Loads to do still, I know, but looking for help on the next steps for the purple and the capes, colours for shadow, etc. I'll tell you what, Crazy Act, if you can get another couple of those, I know loads of people over here that really fucking want them. Like Nick McDavid bite your fucking arm off for that. Right, colours for your shadow on your cloak. There's not a lot to see on that one, so we go straight to the butt shot. Okay, so you've gone with this weird kind of semi-magenta-y colour at the bottom, which I think is the wrong choice. It's too much red in there. It needs to be more purple to pink. For the recessed shades, what I suggest you do is take some of the purple you've used for the base coat and then a dark blue. Mix the two together and then pop that in your recesses. Purple is just a mixture of blue and red. If you use a dark blue, you've basically got dark purple. So, you know, integrate those, get that in your recesses, glaze it in there. We've, I think, had a chat about glazing before, but you can always go back and watch the YouTube video I did on painting that Dark Angel shoulder pad. That was all about glazing. Loads of glazing theory went into making that video, so go and watch that if you need to. But just glaze that into some of the larger areas. The new capes that you see at Games Workshop are normally very smooth. So unlike Calgar's cape, for instance, where he's got all of this at the bottom that's really like creased and wavy, there's you don't have that here. You've got these larger, flatter surfaces which are harder to paint. So that would be my suggestion. Mix a little of that purple in with some blue, glaze it into the shadows, and then the kind of magenta-ish sort of thing you've got at the bottom, I'd glaze that back out. Get some purple, mix up with bone if you want to go pale, mix it up with a vibrant pink, and then bone if you want to keep the power behind that. My usual go-to is Nagaroth Night, Vallejo Sunset Red, and then P3 Manoth White Highlight. Sort of go through that progression and you get a purple that retains its vibrancy but still has a really, really good brightness to it. All that purple done that way. So, there you go. Armor's looking good though, mate. You could do with getting some recessed shades in there. Black can be a little harsh against the white, so a dark grey is better. Good work though. I'm liking it. Keep it up. Good to see you painting as well, dude. And I love this guy in the background as well. Your Torgaradon conversion. He looks sick AF. Here we go. We've got some Hellblasters. Nice. Yeah. I like them, dude. One thing about your candles. I suggest that on the next batch of minis that you do, you don't have them all in the middle. You just offset them a little to the left and the right. Just helps them mix up the squads. It looks like they all sort of stood in an assembly line and had the candle placed in exactly the same position, which is probably not the case. But I'm liking them. Cute bases as well. Right, faces and bases. Marcus, how you doing, dude? Welcome. Had my first and last go at Tartan. Oh, fucking hell. Kudos to anyone who can make it look good. Alright, so Tartan is rough. That's not a bad attempt, mate. I mean, you say first and last, but come on, don't sell yourself short. So, the way to paint stuff like this is to basically get in your head the fact you don't care about painting over stuff you've already painted. Right? Dan, no problem, dude. It has come out quite dark, but there's definitely highlights you could do, and that's going to be my feedback to you. When you're painting tartan, start with the colour that's going to be the most of a pain in the ass to paint. So in this case, I'd start with that sort of brighter, pale, light blue. Get all that on there. Then do your red lines, those nice thin red lines. Yeah. Then do your blue on top of that. Well, actually, I think in this case, your red goes over your blue. So do your blue, and then do your red, and then come in with those green bits. And then go back in and highlight a lot. And that's the step you need to do next, is those highlights. I can see there's a couple on here, because those little squares where you've got the 4 white bits around the red cross, they've clearly had a highlight. But the blue that you've got on there just needs to go up a little bit. You've got these pink strands in there. They jump out more than anything else. And because you've got a bright pink against a dark green and a dark-ish blue, the pink takes over and pushes everything else to the background. And that's why everything else looks dark. Even the bits that are quite light look dark because of the pink. So if you just pop up a few extra highlights on that blue, or just knock back the pink a little bit, you'll have an overall brighter effect. Personally, I'd go up another level on the blue, and I'd get a little of the red you've got in your crosses, and then mix in a tiny bit of yellow and just hit the middle of each cross, and that will jump that forward as well. So then you'll end up with the pink, the blue, and the red all coming forward. The green will stay in the background as is kind of intended, and you'll have something that overall has more of a brightness to it. It's less about upping one particular paint or upping all of your highlights, but being selective about what paints you bring to the foreground. And yeah, Nick McDade. So these were apparently just sat in a Games Workshop in the Netherlands, and I'm reasonably sure that we could potentially convince Chimo to sorry, in Germany, my bad dude, could potentially convince Crazy Ant to maybe head to his local G-Dubs, see if they got some more. I'll let you guys chat it out. But Nick is desperate for these. Butt shot. All I see there, mate, is more excuses to paint tartan. They had one more when you left, and that kiss is definitely gone. It's nice though. Good fade, nice blends. Keep it up, dude. Right, Sons of Rolo. Okay, I'm done, but be brutal. Like Rocky brutal? Okay. Be brutal about what? I mean... Okay, so... First up, good job. Overall, good job. Faces and bases, my pleasure, dude. Hopefully that helps. And if you do it, I'd love to see you come back and show it off again. All right? See the difference. Yeah, good job, mate. You can see all the different parts of it for the most part. What I'd like to see is some of the bits in the background just given a bit more love. When you look at the mini straight off, the thing that draws your eye more than anything else is the gold on the chest piece, because you've got this nice dark shadow in and around there, and this nice bright gold that lifts your attention to that. And you've got that yellow bit on... Is it a heavy bolter he's got? I'm struggling to see quite what it is that he's holding. And that's all sat in the middle band of the miniature, and that's where all of my attention is going. Mostly because of the pose and the fact that green is right there. I'm assuming if we move to here, there we go. Now my attention goes right the way back up to that axe. Honestly, dude, there's not a humongous amount that I can suggest here without coming across as a bit of a dick. The wolf's head looks a bit scrappy. Let's have a slightly better look in. Yeah, your highlights on there are too much too fast. You've just gone from like a mid-tone brown straight up to bone, and it's too much. You need to blend those together a little bit more. The skull looks good. I like that. The eye you could do a bit more with, and it could be brighter. The face is good, but I'd get in a few more shadows to it. Essentially, everything you've done on this mini is correct. The sort of the feedback would be work on some shadows a little bit more. Work on the consistency of your paint a little bit more. There's a few areas here where I can see it's kind of thick. Metallics especially, that gold is a little claggy in places. Could do with some more shadows, some more highlights, get that separation going on in between some of the elements of gold that you've got there. And the face, you could bring up more contrast, more highlights, especially towards the top of his head here, the brow line, the nose. You've also given him kind of a reddish beard, kind of blonde hair. No issues with that. But because you've got blonde hair towards where you'll have the highlights and a red ruddy beard towards where you'll have your shadows, the face itself sort of blends into one across the scope. Toonie Spruce, peace out, man. Thanks for tipping by tonight. Really appreciate it, as always, mate. So, a little bit more brush control, a little bit thinner paint, and then just a little bit more contrast. Those are the main three. But to be honest, those are the main three bits of feedback we can give anyone. So the fourth one, which is bespoke to yourself, would be think a bit more about the composition of the miniature when you're painting it. That face is a really good example. Like I said, the sort of red here, the blonde here, and it sort of all being one transition from the bottom to the top stops some of the detail coming out in the face. That one got hold of the head and run. Oh, dude. That's one more reason not to have kids. Or hams. Children. AWOL Nation. No one's getting made fun of. Well, maybe. We'll see. Cakefisk. Yeah, I might repaint it. The metal feels way too sterile. Sterile? Ooh. Alright, don't repaint it. I know what you need to do. It's just doing it. Because everything's together. What you need to do is get a lot more contrast in there. I understand exactly what you mean when you said sterile now. It's all a bit shiny, a bit polished, a little bit like it's kind of brand new, but then look at the weathering, it's not brand new, and there's that mismatch between the two. So, suggestions. You could either get some very dark metallic and start working in some shadows, or just go straight to a black, thin it, not a wash. Wash would be too thin. The washes are designed to not have surface adhesion, and so push away and just hit the recesses. You take some black paint and thin it down, like I did the Necrons in the Necronathon. That would be a little bit better, I feel. And just start darkening down certain areas of it. You're looking at just getting to all those crooks and crannies, any recesses, anything on the underside where the light's not hitting it, stuff like that. Start building up those shadow layers a little bit. I would try that before repainting it, even if you do it and you don't like the final effect and do decide to repaint it. If nothing else, you've had a bit more of a chance working at some maybe some airbrush control and so on. Effective Pixel, thank you for the follow and welcome to the stream, dude. So yeah, I'd go with that. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. Tricky mini to paint them, especially when it's all together. This is maybe one of the pilots or something. I don't really understand the space dwarfs, but okay, he's looking cool. He's looking a little sort of mismatched in the middle there. I think it's just because we haven't quite got all the highlights, perhaps. I'm unsure. I don't think it's not finished, is it? It's still a whip because the floaty ball thing he's attached to is difficult. Hasn't had its highlights and shadows on yet. But he looks cool. He looks cool. Let's have a look at it from this angle. Okay, yeah, again, the same. Get some contrast in there, get some highlights in there, start snapping out some of the details away from each other. So maybe look at even panel lining some of what you've got there to get that separation. And keep going. I think you know what to do on this guy though, so keep it up, dude. My project today, I did dry brush the red though. Noah's going to edge highlight all that. So Des has done some scenery. Okay, I mean, yeah, I'll let you off the dry brushing. Scenery is one of those things that you don't ever want to outshine the minis on the table, so I'm always a little bit careful when I paint scenery myself to only go sort of so far. I would definitely have done some what's the best way of saying this? Den of Imagination style airbrushed highlights on some of that, and taken some of the panels on whatever that fucking container thing, silo, I think it's probably a real name. Hit the middle of those with the airbrush and work them right up. Den of Imagination, which is another commission painting studio, that's one of their standard techniques, is highlight the center of panels and just go a little bit too far. I feel sometimes you get assaulted by an airbrush to be polite sort of finish to it, but on scenery it works. then you can just weather it down, hit some oils on there or something, and it's sorted out. But that is a nice bit of scenery, mate. Is that all stuck together, or is this like, have you sort of done a bit of assembly and can go back and forth? Gummer, base coat of my word bearer's Chaos Lord, Flesh Terror's red is being a dick. I'm running off the base coat and pulling awkwardly. This is 3 coats so far. This is why I would not use contrast paint on power armor. You rattle can and dry rush. I was fine when you said it the first way around, you know. It's cool, man. I understand, don't you worry. Yeah, contrast paint on armor is one of those things that just doesn't really work. You need to really be able to control it, and you kind of can't. Not really. By the time you've got several coats down as well, it doesn't have the property it's meant to have. It is marketed to have, so that you can have that gradual highlight on stuff. It just doesn't work. If I'm honest, I would probably just mix red at like 3-to-1 with black, so you get a nice dark red. This is what we did with Calgar earlier on today. Paint all of those bits red. Okay, so I totally understand that. All right, one is fucking brilliant. I'm trying to find a nice way of saying this. It'd be very easy to look at one of his videos and go, oh shit, she's in contrast paint. I can do that. That's easy. But he is a master of his craft. You know, he's one of the best painters out there for me. I love what he does. And whilst he's not like up there with Sergio, as far as I'm concerned, he is probably within the top sort of 15 painters out. Because of the way he goes about doing what he does. Everything he does is somewhat harder because of the medium he chooses to use. But he has got hundreds of hours using that medium. So the advice then here is continue doing what you're doing. You're trying to push yourself down that route, and I respect that. Everyone should paint shit outside their comfort zone, unless it involves a dry brush, in which case leave it out your comfort zone. But I would approach this not from the perspective of I'm trying to get a painted mini and this has been a dick and I'm hating this red right now. But approach it from the position of this is a project to learn a different style. I'm going to take it slowly and go one step at a time. And just have the sort of change in mindset. I'd love to see what you do with this using these painting methods as you go further down the line, because getting significant results out of contrast, I feel is very, very difficult. The paint behaves in a very different way to regular paint. You're kind of painting using glazes, but instead of using glazes, you've got this really thick, claggy shit to try and glaze with. So I wish you the best of luck, mate. I really, really do. This is not my style of painting at all, but I respect this style because of the way he's taken a product and broken the rules with it and made it his own thing. So good luck, dude. Chimo, working on this thing. Okay, sick. Absolutely sick. Do they normally have wings? They don't, do they? You've added the wings yourself, right? Gumbalina, looking forward to it, man. Nice. Chimo, I saw, I think, one of these things on Instagram. Someone had painted a like pin-up girl style goblin tattoo on one of them. It looked super, super sick. Nice though, dude. Loving it. Bright orange, bright pink, dark blue for contrast. Totally your thing. That looks cool as. Mate. I like that a lot. Nice little flame pattern. Somewhat cartoony, pumpkin-ish faces. Nice work. Good highlights as well on the rest of the wings, going to that nice bright bone color. Really sells that contrast. Good job. Seriously, man, that is a very, very good job. I think that's the best thing I've seen out of you. These little words, orange didn't cover nicely, mate. It might be shown up differently in the photos than it is in real life then, but I fucking love that. Seriously. Nice contrast. It's just fucking great. Play some games today, he says. There's that big old squig. There's another set of them just there. Nice, mate. I love these little bulldog looking dudes down at the front. The white and the black, they look great. This is definitely your army, man. Like 100%. This is your kind of character. That's banging. Absolutely banging. And there you go, there's crazy ants. Gladiator tanks. Totally legit gladiators. Fucking hell. World exclusive to you, mate. Infected Pixel, trying to build it up to an on fire look, but not there yet for my epoxy boys. Build up to an on fire look. Infected Pixel, where is the fire on the base, or like the horn, or what? Where's the fire going? I see green tones in the skin. Unsure what you mean. Started out as center mass, but I lost it. Oh, okay. So you're trying to paint the mini as... Oh, fuck me. That's a bit difficult. I could see it because of the mottled skin. I could see it as having been on fire. But without moulding in some flames, it's going to be really, really hard to sell that to your audience. You've got a nice progression, the flame colours on the base, which is why I wondered if that was where it was going to be, but I don't know how I do it, that's the thing. Just grab the music back on while you're doing what you're doing. Just another pick, Pixels type in. It's just a tough one, mate. You're trying to do something on the miniature that isn't physically represented on the miniature, and sell an illusion. Alright, here we go. We've got another guy. So I understand on this one a little bit more what you're going for then. You've got that kind of glow coming up from the inside. They start like this, but it's hard to keep the colour. Yeah, I mean... as soon as you start adding much more to it, the yellow's going to lose its vibrancy. And I'm still not entirely certain this looks like somebody that's on fire either. I don't know. I don't know where I'd go, mate. Because the flames would have their own light sourcing, right? Thing is, I kind of get it. The flames would be really, really small. So even if you represented them on the miniature, they wouldn't be the right scale. So the only thing I can suggest then is going completely the other way with it and having them like ultra stylized, ultra cartoony, right? So maybe you have to sculpt some flames if this is what you want to do. Otherwise, you could do it as kind of heat generated by the mini itself. Have you seen Iron Man 2 or 3? Was it 3? The Extremis thing they did. Where you've got the people that like get hot and explode, and fucking Killian with his flame breath towards the end, and the fucking suits. I think that was Iron Man 2. Alright, there's, correct me, it was number 3. So you could go with that. And if you remember from there, you've got the guy that Happy follows. At best, like his brightest, you've kind of got that red inside. You've got little bits of like vein and stuff showing because it's glowing with light from the inside out. That's 2. You guys sort it out amongst yourselves. It's one of the Iron Man films. It was great. It's the only time that I've ever seen Pepper Potts actually look hot, to be fair. Gwyneth Paltrow, that was her name. You could go with something like that, but that means that you're knocking back the yellow a bit more, working much more towards red and orange, using yellow for like your spot highlights and so on. It also means your recesses need to be a nice dark color, so I would probably go with more of a purple than a brown, because you'll get more of a contrast from that to your yellow than you will brown to yellow, because brown contains yellow, whereas purple literally contains the other 2 primary colors. They're off doing their own thing. Yellow's over here doing its own thing. So maybe go somewhere like that. But you're kind of walking down a weird path at this point. So if it doesn't pan out, just take a step back, re-examine it a little bit, maybe come back, pop a message to me over on Discord, just tag me in it in the whip at some point in the week and we'll have a look through. But this is a rough one, alright? This is another, like we've had a few of these today where we're like, I'm trying to do this thing that's a bit weird and we're trying to work it out together. I'd love to see it when you get through it a bit more. Who knows? Might be the greatest thing ever. Might be we need to refine it a little bit more. We can help you out. So, the idea of the army is they thought they could get rid of the Death Guard by setting them on fire. My Poxwalkers were kind of the same, but the other way. They were thrown out of a fucking airlock, so all mine are blue because they froze them. So, Right, let's go have a look on Twitch, see what we're doing. This was Calgar. We've got a bit more work done on him this evening. Hoping to get him finished by, say, Tuesday's stream. And then once he is done, we're working on Kyra Draxus, who was also one of the giveaway minis. So this was one in the giveaway on the End of Stream show last month. One of our Patreon subscribers. Oh, Faces and Bases. Get his sub on with a Twitch Prime sub. Thank you very, very much, dude. Really appreciate that. Jager, take care, man. Thanks for dropping by this evening. So one of our Patreon members, Uriel Ventry, won this in the Patreon bonus round for giveaways. Those Patreon subscribers, though, the people that have pledged over there, have also voted that this becomes one of the giveaway minis for this month. So we have a Warsuit going into the end of November, early Christmas present for somebody in December stream. So that's fucking cool. Next Sunday, we'll show you guys the other mini that's going in this Christmas style giveaway. For Patreon subscribers of the video viewer and above subscription will get that second chance to win. Let's see though, who else is streaming? Pass some hobby love on. Here we go. We got Reiner. We raid Reiner a lot. J7 is about to finish his stream. Steiner we raided the other day. You know what? He's my boy. I love this guy. Let's go raid Reiner. Lee, peace out. Faces and Bases, thank you very much. And again, thank you for that. So we're raiding Reiner72. This guy's an absolute badass. When we get to his stream, spam all those emotes. Get him in there. Let him know where you've come from. I'll see you tomorrow night on the Hellstorm stream at 6 o'clock UK time. Peace out, people.